See a bard in the corner. Hi everyone. Today I wanted to go through an encounter that will be coming up maybe soon in my campaign. I just want to set it up because it's going to be more of a chase kind of thing. So I'm going to run through the chase elements of the Dungeon Master's Guide to see how it can sort of help me set up this process. So I hope everyone's doing well. And you know, I always want to sort of check in with everyone and make sure everyone's okay, feeling good. You know, if you've had some bad time out from late, I hope this sort of calms you or relaxes you. If you've had a particularly traumatic time playing D&D recently, I'm sure it's okay. I'm sure you're going to be fine. But yeah. So this is in part 3, running the game, Chasers, which is 252. So the item is 252. Dun, dun, dun. So this chase is, as I've mentioned before, a skyship I'm going to introduce into my campaign. This will be a sky chase. So I've built a particular creature, a sword-built rock, that will hunt down the flying ship. So this is going to be sort of a chase action. So let us read through the chase and see how this can help me out. So we're probably going to be using the wilderness chase complications, and we might have to jig it to being in the sky or something like that. Okay, cool. So chasers, strict application of movement rules can turn a potentially exciting chase into a dull, predictable affair. Faster creatures always catch up with slower ones. Beginning a chase. A chase requires a quarry and at least one pursuer. Any participant not already in initiative order must roll into the initiative. As in combat, each participant as chase can make one action and move on its turn. The chase ends when one side drops out of the quarry escapes, or the quarry escapes. When the chase begins, determine the starting distance between the quarry and the pursuers. Track the distance between them and designate the pursuers closest to the quarry as they lead. Running a chase. Participants in the chase are strongly motivated to use dash action every round. Pursuers who stop to cast spells and make attacks run the risk of losing their quarry, and the quarry that does not is likely to get caught. Dashing. Chase participant can freely use the dash action as a number of times equal to 3 plus Constitution modifier. Each additional dash action takes during the chase requires a creature to succeed on a DC 10 Constitution check. At the end of its turn, will gain 1 level of exhaustion. A participant drops out of a chase if its exhaustion reaches level 5. Since the speed becomes 0, the creature can remove the levels of exhaustion and gain during the chase by finishing a short or long rest. So freely use a dash action a number of times equal to 3 plus Constitution. So that's a lot of speed. Spells and attacks. Chase or participant can make attacks and spell casts against the creatures within range. Apply the normal rules for cover terrain so that the attacks and spells. Chase participants can't normally make opportunity attacks against each other since they are all assumed to be moving in the same direction. Ending a chase ends when one side or the other stops, when the quarry escapes or the pursuers are close enough for the quarry to catch it. If either side gives up the chase, the quarry makes a dexterity stealth check at the end of each round after every participant in the chase has been taken its turn. The result is compared to passive wisdom scores of the pursuers. If the quarry consists of multiple creatures, they all make the check. If the quarry is never out of the lead pursuer's sight, the check fails automatically. Let's look at some escape factors. Quarry has many things to hide behind. Advantage. Quarry is in a very crowded or noisy. Advantage. Quarry has few things to hide. Disadvantage. Quarry is in an uncrowded or quiet area. Chase complications. As with any good chase scene, complications can arise that make it more pulse pounding. The urban chase complications table and the wilderness chase complication table provided several examples. If it does, it affects the next chase participant in the initiative order, not the participant who rolled the die. The participant who rolled the die or the participant affected by the complication can spend inspiration or negate the complication. You can use inspiration to negate the complication. Let's have a look at these wilderness chase complications. So, let's roll a d20. 11, no complication. 11, no complication. 9, your path takes you near a patch of razor vine. Make a DC dexterity saving throw to use 10 feet of movement, your choice, to avoid the razor vine. On a failed save, you take 1d10 slashing damage. So let's just read these because my dice is rolling too high. Your path takes you through a rough patch of brush. DC 10 strength check, dexterity check to get past the brush. 5 feet of difficult terrain if you fail, uneven ground, dexterity acrobatics, otherwise it's difficult terrain. Swarm of insects that the DM's choosing. The swarm makes an opportunity attack against you. 3 to hit, 4d4 damage on a hit. A stream, a ravine or rock beds are in your path. Strength check or dexterity. On a failed check, it counts as 10 feet of difficult terrain. So these are all sort of like on the things. You're caught in a stampede of spooked animals. Make blah blah blah. Otherwise you'll be getting knocked on the side side, you'll be knocked about and take 1d4 bludgeoning and 1d4 piercing. So in my instance, it's in the sky. Oh, that's not going to work. In my instance, it's in the sky. So let's have a look, shall we? That is 2 Mercurius, and that is also 2 Mercurius, by the way. In the sky. Chase. So, what I will probably sort of change in this for the in-sky one, so on, I don't know, let's say 1 to 5 clear skies. So disadvantage on attacks and perception because the sun glare with this clear sky. Let's say 6 to 10. gust of wind. So that's going to be a DC 10 strength / dexterity to hold onto ship or be blown off. What else have we got? Let's go 11 to 50. Swarm of birds. Swarm of birds. Failed. Dexterity is 4d4 piercing damage from beaks. And then let's say 16 to 20, nothing happens. So, I mean, from this instance, like, you just need to sort of have a look. You've got these two tables now. One's in the wilderness, one's in urban settings. Those don't really work for, like, let's say underwater, or in the sky, in the snow, outside of these things. All you need to do is just sort of like look at this and then maybe just adapt it from environmental aspects. So that's not too bad. So considering you're in the sky, you're looking at sort of like there's ground cover issues here. In the wilderness, change them to sky. So gusts of wind, sun ray, or hail, wind, storm. Maybe you fly into a storm. When you're talking about swarms of insects on the ground, swarm of birds, or still bugs. Bugs are in the sky. Or you could have sort of like really sort of 1 in 20 shot where it's like additional large creatures come up, so like maybe a competing predator like a dragon comes up or something like that in his pursuit from the commotion that's happening. What else? Yeah, so you can sort of do that. Also, you could have aspects. So, for instance, my chase is on a skyship. So, how is the propulsion system? Is it getting targeted? Does it get compromised? Does it shut down? So then you actually have like I'm falling out of the sky, rather than a sort of environmental piece of work. So there's a few different things that you can definitely do there. So this was a quick one. So can't really sort of complain with that kind of thing. So this is going to be sort of like a chase with this gargantuan bird that's sort of designed to attack objects and attack ships. So as it's getting chased, you'll have these different things of being battered in the weather, where they have to try and compete with that while they get attacked by this large bird. So a lot of things going and stuff. And I think I would roll for complications at the top of each round myself, rather than getting a player to roll it and it being a problem for the next player. I'll just do it at initiative 20 and then everyone has to deal with it, I think. So yeah, running a chase, fairly straightforward. Basically just roll up, throw a complication and see how they react. Your characters. Thank you everyone. Enjoy your long rest.